Did you know that it's no news that the President of the United States, whoever holds the office, is one of the most protected persons in the world? Well, this is true even when they go for a jog, for a campaign visit, a state visit, or even for a diplomatic trip. But it's critical when they go for a drive. And that's why, in today's video, we'll be discussing how the world's safest presidential convoy is transported. Without further ado, let's get right into it. The president can't just get into his car and drive over to the store on the spur of the moment. There are extensive security and safety systems in place to protect the president. The presidential motorcade may be both the safest and riskiest method for someone in the United States of America to travel. It's effectively a collection of cars that serve as the mobile and armored White House, with plans for any situation that the president and anyone they're traveling with could find themselves in. It's not rare for the president to visit 3 different cities on the same day, especially during election season. That implies that there's 3 distinct motorcade detachments that must be sent ahead of time to those cities. This is achieved with USAF heavy transport aircraft, such as C-17s, or in rare circumstances, a single C-5 Galaxy. In addition to the presidential motorcade being sent ahead of time to where the president is going, it's now a well-known practice to send a pair of presidential airlift helicopters to the destination, regardless of whether they're required. These might be the Marine One VH-3D Sea Kings or VH-60N Black Hawks from Marine Helicopter Squadron 1, also known as HMX-1. The unit is at Quantico, Virginia, along the Potomac River. These choppers, like the motorcade, normally arrive by USAF heavy transport and are rarely seen outside of a regional orientation. Service check flights happen days before the president appears. How does it work? Things are a little more difficult than a basic lineup of vehicles. The US presidential motorcade has a large fleet that includes practically every vehicle type. The exact configuration is mostly determined by the mission, which is the destination, and who's going with the president. It also varies for security concerns, to make things less predictable and hence safer. Extra cars and vehicles are regularly seen entering and exiting the convoy at various points. Another interesting truth is that even if the presidential cars are on the road, it's possible that the president will not ride in one of them. The Secret Service is known for being masters of protective details, and just because the presidential limousines are moving doesn't mean the president is inside one of them. And depending on the circumstances, this motorcade may be modified to improve the president's degree of safety and effectiveness while on the road. What cars make up the presidential motorcade? The route car and pilot car. These are the cars at the front of the line. According to public sources, these cars drive ahead of the entire convoy to observe the planned path in real time. They assist the fleet in providing additional navigation if any modifications are required. They can communicate with the others in the motorcade. The route and pilot vehicles differ in that the route car is minutes ahead of the fleet, while the pilot car is only seconds ahead to maintain touch with the Secret Service and other law enforcement. The sweepers. Law enforcement is engaged in the motorcade, and sweeper vehicles are usually police-issue motorbikes and patrol cars towards the head of the convoy. The flashing lights, and sometimes sirens, are intended to keep the road clear so that the entire motorcade can maintain a regular speed. That is, the president has to get somewhere on schedule after all, so the road needs to be free of traffic and other obstacles. If you're looking for something to blame for traffic congestion during the president's visit, look no further than the sweeper vehicles. The lead car. It may seem very strange to you guys that the route and pilot cars are first in line, but the lead vehicle is the true brain of the operation. That is, the route and pilot vehicles serve as the eyes, and this vehicle serves as the primary guide and decision maker for the entire trip. It even serves as a border between what's ahead and the president's vehicles. Most of the time, it can be seen as the Secret Service's Suburban, although depending on where the president goes, it has also been a local marked police car. The presidential limousine. This car is usually smack in middle of the motorcade. Although it seems to be a large Cadillac limousine, it's actually a long SUV designed for elegance, survival, and security. As it's come to be called, the Beast is armed with a plethora of one-of-a-kind devices, enhanced capabilities, and enough classified defensive measures to make even James Bond or Batman look stupid. Speaking about the Beast, the president's iconic armored vehicle was first seen during the then-President Barack Obama's inauguration in 2009. Don't be deceived by looks though, this is the gigantic offspring of a Cadillac STS and a military-grade SUV. But okay, as great as it is, it does have a few problems. It's notoriously difficult to drive since it resembles an armored assault vehicle rather than a luxury car. It's incredibly heavy and prone to malfunction, necessitating more maintenance than practically any other car that the common person can purchase from a dealership. While the Beast is perhaps the strongest presidential vehicle to date, just a few of them are now in operation. In truth, the Secret Service only uses it on rare occasions. The president is usually seen driving the older version of the 2005 Cadillac DTS-inspired limousine, though it is the work of the Secret Service to drive the president about in one of its armored Suburbans that are routinely on the road. The formation. When the motorcade is ready to go, the highly skilled Secret Service drivers engage in their form of racing. The shell game is a sequence of drifting and weaving motions that have been performed, rehearsed, and choreographed over many years. The motorcade's major vehicles, the stagecoach, and spares are rotated in and out in random order. There has also been speculation that the Secret Service has begun creating and testing a new presidential limo. Although it won't replace the Beast, it's intended to replace the 2005 DTS-style armored limousines that have been in service for over a decade. If you liked this video, make sure to check out more on our channel, or click the one on your screen now.